Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Manjula Sharma from University of Delhi. Today we are going to talk on the module Introduction to Microscopy and Scanning Electron Microscopy from the paper Measurements and Instrumentation. After completing this module, the students will be able to understand the components of the microscope, the lens system, comparison of the components of the optical, scanning and transmission electron microscopes, Abbe diffraction limit, important features of imaging, that is the spherical aberration, chromatic aberration, astigmatism, then the resolution of the electron microscope, and towards the end the comparison of optical and scanning electron microscopes. Optical microscopy is widely used for the study of materials, with the samples frequently examined in the reflection and transmission modes. In addition, phase contrast and interference microscopy offer certain special advantages. In these techniques, light from a source is condensed on a specially prepared sample. The reflected or transmitted beam goes through the objective lens, where the first image is formed. The latter is magnified with the help of the projector lens. The magnification range available in an optical microscope is typically 50 to 100x. While it is possible to enhance the magnification, the information obtained is restricted by the resolution limit of the microscope. In scanning electron microscopy or SEM, a fine probe of electrons scan the surface of the sample and the signals emanating from the incident side are processed and quantified. High energy electrons passing through a specially prepared thin sample, that is having a thickness from 1 to 50 nanometers, are characterized in the transmission electron microscope to provide information about the sample. In this module, we shall briefly review the salient features of optical microscopy and indicate the advantages of electron optical techniques over the former. So students, now first of all, let us see the components of the microscope. The basic components of the microscope are listed as follows. First is the light or source. Second is the condenser lens. Third, the objective lens. Fourth, projector lens. And finally, the detectors for the signals. It is necessary to have a suitably prepared specimen to maximize the information obtained. The principles of image formation in the reflected and transmitted modes are illustrated in figure 1.1 and figure 1.2 respectively. Light from the source, condensed with the help of the condenser lens and the condenser aperture, falls on a half silvered mirror and then onto the specimen. Consider the position A in figure 1.1. The reflected light is used to form the first image by the objective lens. The projector lens magnifies the first image. The use of specially prepared thin samples allows light to go through the sample in the transmitted mode. The other steps in imaging are the same as those in the reflected mode. Figure 1.1 shows the image formation in reflected illumination, and figure 1.2 shows the image formation in transmission illumination. Now students, let us consider the lens system. The condenser lens collects light to direct it at the small area of the object which is to be examined. It makes the object brighter, that is, have better contrast, and enables to control the angle at which the illumination reaches the object. The condenser lens can converge the light beam on object or can illuminate it with parallel rays. The condenser aperture controls the area of specimen to be illuminated. Objective lens is closest to the object and is the most important single part of the microscope. The quality of objective lenses varies widely from one manufacturer to the other, and the only way to evaluate objective lenses is to physically compare them. They can be of several types: the achromat, semi-plane, super high contrast, and plane. Achromatic lenses are corrected for the lens defect chromatic aberration, which will be explained later in the module, by using two different types of glass, which are sandwiched into a lens doublet with different refractive indices. The super high contrast lenses are standard achromats with an internal field stop which offers a higher contrast image. For image quality, these lenses are excellent for the price. Like the laundry detergent commercials on TV, they produce whiter whites and darker darks to offer a very nice, sharp, high contrast image. The standard achromatic objectives guarantee flat focus quality for 60% of the field of view. In contrast, semi-plane lenses guarantee a flat field for 80% of the field of view, and plane lenses, which are the best, have a full 100% field of view. These lenses are also achromats, correcting for the color dispersion effects. Phase contrast objectives are only useful on specimens that do not absorb light. They are called phase objects and are very useful in showing details in certain specimens such as cell parts and other types of unstained cells. A comparison of the components of the optical scanning and transmission electron microscopes is shown in figure 1.3. The transmission electron microscope is similar to an optical instrument in that lenses are used to form images. The scanning electron microscope is not similar to an optical instrument. No image forming lenses are given there, but uses electron optics to form a fine probe on the specimen, which is scanned back and forth over the specimen, and the signals emitted at every point are detected and characterized. Students, now let us see the comparison of optical, scanning and transmission electron microscopes, as can be seen in the figure. The total magnification of the microscope is given by the product of the magnification of the objective and projection lenses. In contrast with the optical microscope, where the magnification of the objective and projector lenses needs to be considered, the TEM would have an extra lens to contribute towards the magnification. Also, both SEM and TEM have two condenser lenses. In order to understand the working of the several microscopes, we need to understand the Abbe diffraction limit. The Abbe limit is the minimum resolvable distance between the images of two-point objects using a perfect lens. It represents the ability to discern fine details. In any magnifying system, a point object, that is zero diameter, cannot be imaged as a point but as a bright disk with several subsidiary intensity maxima. There are several intensity maxima with the peak value reducing as we move away from the center of the feature. As 2-point objects approach each other, the main peaks get more closely spaced and finally start overlapping. The resolution limit is reached when the shoulder observed in the intensity curve in figure 1.4b has a value of 0.81 of the peak intensity. Figure 1.4a shows the diffraction effects around an aperture and overlapping of peaks as the features approach each other. Figure 1.4b defines the criterion for resolution limit, that is, the minimum distance between two diffraction maxima still projected separately. The resolving power or resolution limit rho is defined by the expression rho is equal to 0.61 lambda divided by neta sine alpha, where lambda is the radiation used, neta is the refractive index of the medium between the lens and the specimen, and alpha is the semi-acceptance angle, as is shown in figure 1.5. Neta sine alpha is also referred to as the numerical aperture of the lens. Figure 1.5 illustrates the semi-acceptance angle of the lens. Taking a value of 400 nanometer for the wavelength of the radiation, that is the green light, and its neta sine alpha of 1.6, where sine alpha is taken as 1 and refractive index as 1.6. Then the value of rho is equal to 152 nanometer. That means the resolution is about 150 nanometers. The realistic value of resolution is about 200 nanometers, that is 0.2 micrometers. In electron microscopy, lambda is a small, that is small fraction of nanometer, depending upon the accelerating voltage, and mu sine alpha is further small because mu is unity and alpha can have a maximum value of a few degrees. For wavelength of 0.0037 nanometers, that is 100 keV electrons, and alpha is equal to 0.1 radians, the resolution is about 0.02 nanometers. Now, let us consider the important features for imaging. Wavelength lambda of the electrons accelerated by a potential of V volts is given by the expression lambda is equal to h by square root of 2 m eV, where h is Planck's constant, that is 6.626 multiplied by 10 raised to minus 34 joule seconds. M is the electronic mass, that is 9.11 multiplied by 10 raised to minus 31 kg. E is the electronic charge, that is 1.602 multiplied by 10 raised to minus 19 coulombs. For large values of v, electrons can attain velocities comparable with the speed of light, and relativistic increase in mass should be taken into account. This is done by replacing v by vc, that is, the relativistic accelerating voltage. The value of vc is given by v multiplied by 1 plus ev by 2 m naught c square, where c is the velocity of light, that is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. For 100 kilovolt electrons, the wavelength is 0.04 angstroms without relativistic correction and 0.037 angstroms with relativistic correction. Now students, let us study about the lens aberrations. The lenses suffer from several aberration effects which affect the resolution. The most important of these defects are spherical aberration, chromatic aberration, and astigmatism. Now students, we should consider the first kind of lens aberration, that is the spherical aberration. Spherical aberration arises from the fact that the focusing action of outer regions of lens is more than that of the regions close to the optic axis. Point in the optic axis is imaged as a disc in the image plane. Consider figure 1.6. This disc has minimum size on a particular imaging plane. The radius of this disc of least confusion, delta Rs, is given by delta Rs is equal to Cs alpha cube, where Cs is the spherical aberration coefficient, typically 1 to 5 millimeter, and alpha is the semi-aperture angle. Note that even for a small value of alpha, that is around 10 raised to minus 2, delta Rs is equivalent to 1 nanometer. Next type of aberration is the chromatic aberration. The chromatic aberration arises from variations in accelerating voltage or lens current and the consequent energy spread of the electrons. The lower energy electrons are bent more. Refer to figure 1.7. Note that in the case of white light, this effect is due to different wavelength of the components of white light. Delta Rc, or the radius of the disc of least confusion, is given by delta Rc is equal to Cc alpha delta E by E. Typical value of Cc is 1 to 4 millimeter. Electrons from tungsten filament have a spread of energy of 0 to 3 electron volt and lens current stability are 10 raised to minus 6 per minute. Electron energy loss from inelastic scattering 20 to 50 electron volt would be the resolution limiting factor. The figure shows the chromatic aberration illustration. The blurring due to energy spread in electron beam and lens current fluctuations. Now, astigmatism. Astigmatism refers to the imaging of a point in the object as a disc due to differing focal lengths depending on the plane of the ray paths. Refer to figure 1.8. Radius of the disc of least confusion, that is delta RA, is given by delta RA is equal to delta FA alpha, where delta FA is the maximum difference arising from astigmatism. Aberration is corrected by the use of electromagnetic stigmators in the electron microscope. Thus, astigmatism is a lens defect caused by magnetic field asymmetry, and it can be corrected using stigmators. Scanning electron micrograph of a magnetic tape is shown in figure 1.9. The appearance of the image is considerably changed when astigmatism is not corrected and the image is improperly focused. Figure 1.9 shows the scanning electron micrograph of a magnetic tape. A has no astigmatism. B and C are the images with astigmatism, where B is overfocused and C is underfocused. This point is again emphasized in figure 1.10, where the effects of astigmatism and improper focus are illustrated. Students, let us consider the resolution of the electron microscope. A compromise value for the resolution of the electron microscope can be obtained by considering the two opposing factors: diffraction effects favoring a high value of alpha and lens defects requiring small values of alpha. Resolution is given by the expression rho diff is equal to 0.61 lambda divided by mu sin alpha, which can be written as 0.61 lambda by alpha. Since mu is 1, which is for the vacuum in the electron microscope column, and alpha is small. Depth of field represents the distance parallel to the optical axis of the microscope that a feature on the specimen can be displaced without loss of resolution. For the optical microscope, it is given by the expression d is equal to lambda multiplied by square root of beta square minus na square divided by na square plus 250 by m square. While for the electron microscope, it is given by d is equal to 0.1 millimeter by m alpha, where d is the depth of field and m is the total magnification of the microscope. Some values for the depth of field of optical and scanning electron microscope are shown in table 1.2. The large depth of the field of the SEM is clearly seen in the micrographs of blood corpuscles as shown in figure 1.11. The figure A shows the A optical image and B shows the scanning modes. Now, towards the conclusion, we will compare the characteristics of optical and scanning electron microscopes. The advantages of using the SEM are in terms of better resolution, larger depth of field, and possibilities of obtaining images in several modes. For SEM, the illumination is by electron beam, while for optical microscope, it is by light beam. The wavelength for SEM is of the order of 0.05 angstroms, while for optical, it is of the order of 2000 to 7000 angstroms. The lens used in SEM are the electrostatic lens for DMAG crossover and electromagnetic lenses for magnification. For optical microscope, the optical lenses are used for magnification. The resolution of SEM is around 50 angstroms, while the optical microscope has a visible region 2000 angstrom or a UV region has 1000 angstroms. The depth of field for SEM is 30 microns at 1000x, while it is 0.1 micron for the optical microscopes. The magnification obtained in the SEM is continuously variable from 10x to 2 lakh x, while for optical microscopes it varies from 10x to 2000x. The focusing in SEM is electrical, while in optical microscopes it is mechanical. The obtainable images in SEM are several, while in optical they are transmitted and reflected. The contrast in SEM is shape and chemical property controlled, while in optical microscopes the color and brightness controlled. So students, let us now summarize what we have learned in this module. We have learned about the components of the microscope, the lens system. We have compared the components of the optical scanning and transmission electron microscopes. We have learned about the Abbe diffraction limit. We learned about the important features for imaging. We have studied the spherical aberration, the chromatic aberration and astigmatism. We also learned about the resolution of the electron microscopes, and towards the end we see the comparison of the optical and scanning electron microscopes. Thank you.